It started with a laugh. Not the kind that brings joy, but the kind that slithers into your ears, cold and unnatural. At exactly midnight, the abandoned house at the end of Hollow Street came alive with echoes of laughter, twisted, endless, and inhuman. No one dared to go near it. Until we did. Ethan, Lisa, and I stood in front of the house, staring at its dark silhouette against the night sky. It had been abandoned for decades, its windows shattered, its walls covered in vines that looked like creeping fingers in the moonlight. The stories about this place were endless. Some said a family once lived here, only to disappear without a trace. Others claimed that those who entered never came back the same. But the most chilling tale was the one that had made this house infamous. The laughter. Every night, at exactly midnight, eerie laughter echoed from within. No one had ever found its source. Some believed it was the wind playing tricks. Others swore it was something much worse. "I don't like this," Lisa muttered, pulling her jacket tighter around herself. Ethan rolled his eyes. "Come on, it's just an empty house. Probably some old pipes or animals making noise." I wasn't so sure. I had heard the laughter myself last week. It wasn't the wind. It was deliberate, wrong in a way that made my skin crawl. Still, we had made a pact. Tonight, we would go inside. The rusted gate groaned as we pushed it open. The overgrown pathway crunched beneath our feet. Each step toward the house felt heavier, as if something unseen was watching, waiting. Lisa hesitated at the porch. "Maybe this isn't a good idea." Ethan smirked. "What's the worst that could happen?" I reached for the doorknob. To my surprise, it turned easily, as if someone had left it unlocked for us. The door swung open with a slow, agonizing creak. The air inside was thick with dust and something else. Something stale, like old laughter lingering in the walls. We stepped inside. The floorboards groaned beneath us. The moonlight filtering through the broken windows barely illuminated the room, casting strange, elongated shadows across the floor. An old staircase led to the second floor, its railing broken in places. Faded wallpaper peeled away in large strips, revealing the decayed wood beneath. A few pieces of furniture remained. A tattered couch, a broken chair, a coffee table coated in grime. Lisa shivered. "Let's not stay long." Ethan pulled out his phone and began recording. "This is gonna make a great video, exploring the haunted laughing house." I wasn't interested in making a video. I just wanted to know if the stories were true. Then we heard it. A laugh. Not from upstairs, not from outside. From right behind us. Lisa yelped and spun around. The door we had just entered was wide open, but there was no one there. "Did you hear that?" I whispered. Ethan swallowed hard. "Yeah." Lisa grabbed my arm. "Let's go. Now." But then something caught my eye. A book lying on the coffee table, covered in dust. Unlike everything else in the house, it looked untouched by time. I hesitated, then picked it up. The cover was plain, but when I opened it, my breath caught. It was a diary. The first page was dated over 50 years ago, and the first entry read, "The laughter never stops. No matter how much we pray, no matter how much we beg, it's always laughing. And it's getting closer." The room suddenly felt colder. Ethan read over my shoulder, "This has to be a prank." Lisa shook her head. "Who would leave this here? And why does it look new?" Another laugh rang out, louder louder this time, closer. I turned to the staircase. The darkness at the top of the stairs felt heavier, like something was lurking just beyond our vision. Then, soft footsteps. Lisa grabbed my arm tighter. "Let's go." Ethan hesitated, torn between curiosity and fear. But when another giggle echoed, this time sounding almost right next to us, he bolted. We ran out of the house, our breath ragged. The moment our feet hit the grass, the laughter stopped. The house stood silent, as if nothing had happened. But as I turned back, I saw something in the second floor window. A shadow, standing perfectly still, watching us. And then it laughed. The three of us didn't stop running until we were halfway down the street, breathless and shaken. The laughter still echoed in my mind, that eerie, unnatural sound that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Lisa bent over, hands on her knees. "Tell me we're never going back there." Ethan, for once, was silent. His usual cocky smirk was gone, replaced with a pale, uneasy expression. He still clutched his phone, but his hands were trembling. "We all heard it, right?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Lisa nodded vigorously. "It was real. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't an animal. It was..." She trailed off, looking back toward the house. Even from this distance, the second floor windows seemed to stare at us like an unblinking eye. Ethan swallowed hard. That shadow in the window. "Did you see it move?" I didn't answer. I didn't want to admit that in the split second before we ran, I had seen the shadow tilt its head, almost as if it were amused. I tightened my grip on the diary, still clutched in my hands. If there were any answers, they were inside these pages. Back at my house, the three of us sat around my desk, the diary open before us. The first entry still sent chills down my spine. The laughter never stops. No matter how much we pray, no matter how much we beg, it's always laughing. And it's getting closer. I turned the page. The handwriting was hurried, frantic. Day 3. Mother says we shouldn't talk about it. But at night, when we close our eyes, it's there, laughing. Father says it's just the house settling. But I saw something in the hallway last night. A shape. It stood there for a long time. I thought it was Father. But when I whispered his name, it just tilted its head. And then it laughed. Lisa hugged herself. This is insane. Ethan, who had been quiet the entire time, finally spoke. Who wrote this? I flipped to the first page again, looking for a name. The inside cover had something scrawled in fading ink. Belongs to Margaret Holloway. 1967. Holloway. I frowned. That name sounds familiar. Lisa gasped. Wait, the house is on Hollow Street. You don't think? Ethan's eyes widened. The house belonged to the Holloway family. Lisa covered her mouth. But they disappeared. The Holloway family was one of the town's oldest legends. A family of 5 had lived there. Parents, 3 children. Then, one night, they were simply gone. No bodies, no clues. Just an odd, empty house, and the laughter that started soon after. I turned another page. The handwriting was messier now. The ink smeared in places. Day 6. We tried to leave. The door wouldn't open. Father broke a window, but outside wasn't outside it anymore. It was just more house, more hallways. The laughter is in the walls now. It knows we're afraid. The three of us exchanged uneasy glances. This is insane, Lisa repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. What if this isn't just a story? Ethan rubbed his temples. All right, let's just say, this diary is real. That means the Holloways didn't just disappear. They were trapped. By the house, Lisa shot him a glare. You're not seriously suggesting? Ethan held up his phone. I recorded everything back there. If we go through the footage, maybe we'll see something we missed. Reluctantly, we huddled around as he played the video. The footage showed us stepping inside, the dust swirling in the air. Our voices were clear, nervous but steady. Then, at the exact moment we heard the first laugh, the screen flickered. For half a second, there was something else there. A figure. It stood just behind us, barely visible in the shadows. No face, just a dark shape, its head tilted slightly. Lisa shrieked, backing away from the phone. Ethan paused the video, his face pale. No way. I felt ice crawl up my spine. It was standing right behind us. Lisa shot up from her chair. I'm done. I don't care about the diary, the house, or the stupid laughter. I'm not going back there. But I wasn't so sure. We had a choice. The laughter had followed us. Because at that moment, from somewhere inside my house, a single soft giggle echoed through the air, and the diary in my hands snapped shut on its own. The diary snapped shut in my hands, as if some unseen force had closed it. My breath hitched. The room was dead silent, except for that sound. A soft, distant giggle. Lisa clutched my arm. Tell me that was the wind. Ethan swallowed hard, gripping his phone. We locked the doors when we came in, right? I nodded slowly, but that didn't reassure me. The sound hadn't come from outside. It had come from inside the house, from the hallway. I turned toward the door, my pulse hammering in my ears. The hallway stretched into darkness, the only light coming from my bedroom lamp. I listened, barely breathing. Nothing. But then, tap, tap, tap. Slow, deliberate footsteps on the hardwood floor. Lisa whimpered, No, no, no. Ethan jumped up. I'm checking the front door. He rushed past us, flipping the lock back and forth. Still locked. I didn't respond. My eyes were glued to the hallway. The footsteps had stopped, but I felt something there. Watching. I tightened my grip on the diary. What if we brought something back? Lisa backed up toward the window. We need to leave. Before I could answer, the lights flickered. The room plunged into momentary darkness, and in that split second, the laughter was right next to me. Not distant, not behind a wall, right at my ear. I jerked away, slamming into the desk. My lamp flickered back to life, casting long shadows on the walls. The laughter was gone, but my skin was covered in goosebumps. Lisa was near tears. I'm not staying here. I forced myself to stay calm. Okay, we go to my parents' place. We stay there for the night. Ethan grabbed his phone and Lisa practically ran out the door. I hesitated, looking back at the diary one last time before stuffing it into my backpack. Then we left. My parents' house was only a few blocks away, and I had never been so relieved to step inside. The familiar warmth, the scent of home. It should have made me feel safe, but it didn't. Not after what happened next. We sat in the living room, lights on, doors locked. Ethan replayed the footage over and over, pausing at the shadow behind us in the laughing house. "I still can't believe we didn't see it," he muttered. Lisa curled up on the couch. "Can we stop talking about it, please?" I wanted to agree, but my gut told me we weren't done with this, because the diary was still with me. I pulled it out of my bag, hesitating before opening it again. The pages were filled with frantic entries, growing more desperate as they went on. Day 10. Father doesn't speak anymore. He just stares at the walls. Mother keeps whispering that we need to be quiet, that if we laugh, it will notice us. I shivered. The Holloway family had been trapped in that house, and now, where are we next? I flipped to the last entry, my heart pounding. The ink was smudged, the handwriting almost unreadable. Day 15. We tried to stay silent. But laughter is contagious, isn't it? It only needs one sound, one slip, and then it will never stop. The next page was blank. Lisa looked over my shoulder and shuddered. "We're getting rid of that thing." I nodded. First thing in the morning. Ethan sighed, rubbing his face. "Let's just try to sleep. We'll figure this out tomorrow." Reluctantly, we agreed, but I barely slept that night, because just as I was drifting off, I heard it again. The laughter. Not outside, not in my dreams, right next to my bed. I couldn't move. The laughter was right next to me, soft, almost playful, but somehow wrong, like it didn't belong in this world. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might burst. I squeezed my eyes shut. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe if I stay still, it'll go away. But then, something brushed against my blanket. I gasped, bolting upright and fumbling for the lamp. The warm glow flooded the room. Nothing was there. The air was heavy, thick with something unseen. I scanned the room, my breath shaky. The door was still closed. My backpack, with the diary inside, sat untouched by the desk. I wasn't imagining it. I grabbed my phone and texted Lisa and Ethan. "Me, are you awake?" Lisa replied almost instantly. "Lisa, couldn't sleep. I keep hearing things." Ethan took longer to answer. "Ethan, guys, check your phones. Look at our group chat from earlier." Confused, I scrolled up. The last messages were from when we left my house. But there was something new. At 3:03 a.m., a message had been sent from my number. Me. My blood ran cold. I hadn't sent that. Lisa's next message came in fast. "Lisa, what is this? Are you messing with us?" I didn't reply. My hands were shaking too much. Then Ethan sent a screenshot. It was from his call log. At 3:04 a.m., he had received a call. From me. Duration 0. "I never called you," I whispered, my voice barely making a sound. Then my phone buzzed again. An incoming call. No caller ID, just 3 dots. I stared at it, frozen. Then, a soft giggle echoed from the speaker. I threw the phone across the room. By morning, we were done pretending we could handle this alone. We met at a diner, all of us looking like we hadn't slept in days. Lisa had dark circles under her eyes. Ethan's hands wouldn't stop fidgeting. I still felt the phantom touch of something pulling at my blanket. Lisa didn't even wait for coffee. "We're burning that diary," I nodded. "Today." Ethan hesitated. "What if that makes it worse?" Lisa shot him a glare. "Worse than this?" She pointed at her phone. My call history says I made a call last night. To myself. I didn't. Did you get a call too? Ethan nodded reluctantly. Same time. 3:04 a.m. Lisa looked at me. And you? I swallowed. Not just a call. A text. I showed them the screenshot. Lisa shivered. Nope, we're done. She grabbed her bag. Let's go. We'll burn it in the woods, far away from here. An hour later, we stood in a clearing deep in the forest, the diary resting on a pile of dry twigs. I held a lighter, my thumb hovering over the spark wheel. Ethan looked uneasy. What if this thing is, cursed? What if burning it gets rid of it? Lisa interrupted, which is what we want. I exhaled and flicked the lighter on. The flame danced in the breeze. Slowly, I lowered it to the diary. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the flames took hold. The pages curled, blackening at the edges. The ink ran in strange patterns, almost like writing. The letters moved, shifting in the heat. You can't silence laughter. The flames roared. The book was engulfed in seconds. And then we heard it. A laugh. Not from behind us, not from the trees, from the fire. A deep, distorted chuckle rising with the smoke. The wind picked up, whipping the ashes into a spiral. The laughter grew louder, sharper, until, with a final snap, the diary collapsed into dust. Silence. For the first time in days, nothing whispered in the shadows. No giggles, no calls. Lisa exhaled in relief. It's over. I wanted to believe her. Ethan stared at the ashes. I hope so. That night we each slept in our own beds. No phone calls, no laughter. But as I drifted off, something nagged at me. Lisa had said something earlier. What if burning it makes it worse? I dreamed of a house, empty, dark, and then a voice, not laughing this time, whispering. It only takes one sound. For the first time in days, I woke up feeling normal. No strange noises, no eerie laughter, just the soft morning light filtering through my curtains. Maybe it was really over. I got up and checked my phone. No missed calls, no strange messages, just a good morning text from Lisa. Lisa, we good? I smiled and replied, Me, I think so. No weird stuff last night. A minute later, Ethan texted too. Ethan finally slept like a normal human. Guess fire works, huh? I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. It was done. The nightmare was over, or so I thought. That afternoon, we met at a cafe near campus. The relief in the air was almost tangible. Lisa was actually smiling again. Ethan had his usual energy back. We really should have burned that thing earlier, Lisa said, stirring her iced coffee. Ethan chuckled. Lesson learned. If something feels cursed, don't take it home. I laughed along with him. It felt good. It felt wrong. The moment the sound left my mouth, I froze. Lisa and Ethan stopped too. The cafe was still bustling around us, people chatting, dishes clinking. But in the background, somewhere, I heard it, a laugh. Not mine, not Lisa's, something else. Lisa's face went pale. Did you hear that? Ethan nodded slowly, his fingers tightening around his cup. I turned my head, scanning the cafe. A family sat in one corner, a group of students in another, a barista pouring coffee. Nobody looking at us, but the laughter. It was closer now. I swallowed hard. No, we burned the diary. It's over. Lisa gripped the table. Then why do I still hear it? I shook my head, trying to stay calm. Maybe we're just imagining things. We were so scared for days. Maybe our minds haven't adjusted yet. Ethan exhaled. Yeah, maybe. Lisa didn't look convinced. Neither did I. That night I stayed up late, trying to convince myself it had all been in my head. I turned on music, loud, drowned out my thoughts. But when I paused it, the laughter was still there, faint, almost distant. I covered my ears. It's not real. It's not real. My phone vibrated. A message from Lisa. Lisa. I hear it. I felt sick. Then another text. Ethan. Guys, my TV turned on by itself. The volume was down. But I swear, I heard laughing. I couldn't breathe. We had burned the diary. So why wasn't it gone? We met up again. This time, at Lisa's place. Lights on. Doors locked. Ethan paced. What do? We destroyed the book. It should have stopped. Lisa held her head in her hands. It didn't. I sat down, trying to think. What did the diary say? It only needs one sound, one slip, and then it will never stop. Realization hit me like a punch to the gut. We laughed. Lisa looked up. What? I swallowed. After we burned the diary, at the cafe, we laughed. Ethan's face drained of color. Lisa whispered, Oh no. My hands were ice cold. That was the rule, wasn't it? The Holloways tried to stay silent. They tried not to laugh, but they failed. Ethan stared at me. Are you saying it doesn't need the book? I nodded, my throat dry. It needs us, our laughter. That's how it spreads. Lisa gripped the table. So what do? I hesitated. There's only one way to stop it. They waited. We don't laugh. Ever again. Silence. Ethan exhaled. That's impossible. I didn't respond. Because deep down, I knew the laughter was with us now, waiting, listening, and the moment we slipped, it would never stop.